in a haystack. All this music, my mind is lost in the he say, she say that they involving. Gets them nowhere while I'm evolving. Hold my own like a king on a throne, no need for umbrellas, cause it's raining falling without hesitating.
And we have a call online. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hi, morning.
Morning.
Sheldon, let me ask you something now. What month the public assistance will be suspended to fixing?
The public assistance.
Huh?
I think people are getting the entire thing twisted, huh?
No.
No, I say people are getting the entire thing mixed up.
Uh-huh.
There are several programs, assistant programs that are being done through the Prime Minister's ministry that are temporarily.
Okay, well, explain how it's not really.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, there are several programs under the Prime Minister's ministry that are being temporarily suspended, just for, I think, a 1 month period, so that they can be reviewed. Some persons are thinking it means that all the assistance programs, so that seed is going to be suspended, and what is the housing program, and all programs are going to be suspended. That is not the case. It is simply a case that you're going to review the assistance programs that exist under the Prime Minister's ministry. So there are several that are done there. Those are being reviewed. As with all programs, it's nothing new. As with all programs, you have to do a review every now and again. For instance, you would have seed program. They do, I believe, every year. They do a review every year, because there are persons who would no longer qualify for seed under the various criteria that they set forth. Yeah? For instance, if they say seed is for people earning under a certain amount of money, I don't want to go and call any amount, because some people just hear what they want to hear and go and say, I say people earning that amount, kind of thing. So it is simply for people who are earning under a certain amount of money on a monthly basis. The entire household income is under a certain amount. Let's say somebody in the household gets a job, or they get a high-paying job, a good job or so, and they no longer qualify for seed because they can make it on their own. So a review is done every now and again with programs like that. Yeah? It may be a case, for instance, that you have a person who is receiving, an elderly person that's receiving a benefit on a monthly basis, and next thing, that person has gone on to the great beyond, and somebody might be still collecting their payments and cashing it. It happens the world over. I'm not saying that that is happening now in Grenada, but it can. That is why a review is done every now and again to programs. I know in the UK it happens. In the US it happens. You have people that died in the US, and you have people cashing the check every month as normal as if these people are alive.
For years.
For years. You have that taking place right next door in Trinidad. And so that people have died, and because the information was not entered into the system that this person has now died, you had checks still going to that person and people cashing those checks, and so as if the person sent them to cash it. And so because sometimes you put, as an elderly person, you can't always move around, you may give somebody the power of attorney for you, that power to go change a check for you and do different things for you and so on. So that is why a review of social programs is done every now and again. It is not that you know for a fact that somebody is doing something wrong in it, but before they get the opportunity to do something wrong in it, it is important that you do a review. Now, during the throne speech, Her Excellency, the Governor General, would have stated that a review is being done on the social safety net programs. The Governor General, of course, did not expand on that, but it does not include programs like SEED and so. It is simply there are several social safety net programs that operate under the Office of the Prime Minister, and those are the ones that are being looked after and so on. There's a continuous process within the SEED program, even for people collecting NIS, isn't it? People collecting NIS, every so often, I can't remember if it's once or twice a year, I think it's every 6 months.
Every 6 months.
Every 6 months. You have to present your life certificate.
Yes, to be, you know.
Yeah, for them to put you back into the system. So you have a system there where the people who are getting the little pension from them, they have to submit the documents every 6 months, and it has to be signed by a member, I think a priest, a medical doctor, or a member of parliament or something like that. Yeah, I think it's something like that. Could sign it. Right? We have a caller.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Hi,
Hello.
good morning.
Hi, morning, Sheldon and Devon.
Morning,
Morning.
Good
Kami.
morning. I just saying good morning to you.
All right,
But you
dear.
know what you're talking about there? Look at Bossman just telling me, you know, that a man that had a contract to do work, how she say, he said they take away work from him and say no. A lot of the people are going to say about the elderly people. But I just said they're doing a review. Eh?
They're doing a review, but I don't.
Just tell me that and I hear you talking about that there, you know.
But I don't
Just
know
try
that
to
they've sent
explain that
home.
to the people because they're going with it now like they're saying home everybody. You understand?
Yeah, but
They're
that's.
going with this kind of talk.
Mhm.
So you have to let the people know because people start to get scared. You
Yeah,
understand?
definitely.
So get your facts and let the people know what's going on.
All right,
Yes.
darling.
Right?
We will.
Okay. And Kami's
And
gone.
Kami.
No, but sending home people, I don't know that that is happening. No, I don't know that that is happening, that is sending home anybody. Because we'd realize that even last week and week before, and ever since the election, there have been rumors by elements of the NDC.
Oh, yes.
Elements of the NDC have been going out there, for instance, with the Imani program and telling the trainees under the Imani program, because you have some in, I believe it's either batch 4 or batch 5, who would be completing their first cycle within the program at the end of this month or next month. They'd be completing their 2 years, their first cycle within the program. But as we have said, the program is a program that provides opportunity. When they're completed the 2 years, there's other avenues for them to go to. So it's not like you complete 2 years and you just tell them you give them a handshake and say bye-bye, go home and sit down. How can you take thousands of young people and just shake their hand and tell them go home and sit down? Not the new National Party government.
That's not it.
That's the NDC way of operating. That's the NAS way of operating. Look at it from a financial aspect and don't look at it as 2,000 young people. Look at it as 2,000 people that have to be paid on a monthly basis.
And
that's how he look at it.
That's our burden on the state.
And when Pedro and them was telling him, don't do that.
Don't do that. Oh,
They
no.
listen.
You see, he's a finance minister. He's the one with the authority to say what could spend and what can't spend.
Yeah.
You know?
So definitely, the people who are within the Imani program, they will not be going home right now. Yeah? There are different ways for them to continue in the program. One, they can go on to further education. So they can move from the program and go into, whether it's SGU. There are people who have come from the Imani program that are studying in China right now. There are people from the Imani program that are studying in Mexico right now. There are persons from the Imani program that are studying in Cuba right now. There are persons from the Imani program in Morocco, in Trinidad, in Jamaica. There are persons who have come through the Imani program, properly utilize their time. Let me make sure that you understand that aspect. Properly utilize their time and who are now out in university. So when they come back, they're coming back with bachelor's degrees, master's degrees. You never know. One or two might even come back with doctorate. Those that are going to Cuba to do medicine.
And then you have those who came out of the Imani and have their own business.
Right. So that's the next aspect now. You know? Because there is the business component to Imani. For instance, you would train a person. Let's say a young person is placed on a farm, a poultry farm. So they go on a poultry farm. You go on a poultry. Good morning, Mommy George and Pinky. Yes, good morning, Mommy George and Pinky. Right. Happy birthday, Pinky. I take it back. Happy birthday. Since you're listening, happy birthday. Right. I forget Pinky proper name. Yeah. So you may have a young person that you sent to a poultry farm. So that young person goes to the poultry farm and they learn the operations of the poultry farm. They learn the proper way to care for the animals and so on. They learn the different intricate things like the amount of feed and lighting and so on, because you know some of them, they keep on the lights all night, so they eat and they get by a certain size by a certain time. They learn all of these things. And then they can be funded through the government of Grenada through either the same Imani program the Grenada Youth Enterprise Initiative, GYEI, aspect of the Imani program, or they can be funded through the GDB,
Yes.
and they start their own little poultry farm.
Oh, yes.
You may have someone that wants to be a beautician, they want to do hairdressing and so. So there are several courses that we send such persons through, where they learn to do hairdressing, the different texture of hair, the different scalp, the different funguses and bacteria, and so that people can pick up with the scalp and so the different products that you use for the different types and quality of hair. They could do the nail techs, and nail tech is nail tech is not just to learn to go and design nails, you know. They have to deal with things like fungus, because if they do the wrong thing, they could give you a fungus in your nail, you could lose your nail and all of that. So they're trained in these things, and then they encourage through the Imani program to create cooperatives. So what you attempt to do, instead of one young lady decide she's going to Rose Hill and open her own beauty salon, and she's going to be doing hair and nails on her own, you encourage her to get 2 or 3 other people who may be doing the same course close by, and they do their own business. So instead of one person having to pay the rent, 3 paying the rent.
Make it much easier.
Right. And I may have friends who want to do their nails today, and they want to do their hair. And we have a person that specializes in the nails there, and we have a person that specializes in the hair. They have graduations coming up and so on, and we know around that time, lots of persons, they want to make sure they get their hair and the nails done and all that sort of thing. So you're going to have different people that focus with different things. You may have one person that deal with locks, specifically with dreadlocks, because there are a lot of guys that do the dreadlocks, and it's basically what, about $50, $60 according to who you go to, to do your locks, about 50, 60 according to who you go to neaten up those locks.
As much as $80.
As much as 80 according to who you're going to do your locks and so on. And once you have to shampoo and all of that too, you're talking additional money with that.
The well treatment, everything, the full works.
So imagine you may have one person that specializes in that, one person that specializes in nails, one person that specializes in the weaves and the other thing, and all of them could cross and do what the other does as well.
Exactly.
So imagine you have some young people who are trained through the Imani and are then funded. So they're given the equipment, they're given the different usables, the creams and the shampoos and all the different things, the paint and so for the nails, the acrylics, they're given all of that, the money to buy all of that, and they start their business and repay the government of Grenada, right? But they are still, as long as they're paying, they're still within the program. They're not receiving a stipend as such, but they're still within the program because they're paying back to the program.
Exactly.
You also have a situation where many of the persons, on completing their 2 years, the supervisor would go and speak to the person where they were training, their supervisor or the employer, where they were training, and seek to gain permanent employment for that person. Say if you keep the person for 2 years, and they've been working well, then why don't you take this person on your permanent staff? Because we will no longer leave this person here under the Imani program. So if you want the services of this person, it would be incumbent on you to take this person full-time. So there are different avenues that you go through. It's not just you complete the 2 years and you dump the people and that kind of thing. Or there are also those, when it comes to the continued training as well, who may not go to university, but decide that they want to improve on the CVQ they have. So they've got the Caribbean vocational qualification, and they may decide that, look, I have level 1 or I have level 2, I want to go to level 3 or level 4. Yeah? So they can continue in the program to gain that level of qualification. So it's nobody and dumping anybody. So even when you hear they're speaking now about, oh, they're sending home people from this and they're sending home people from that. The good thing is we'd really like to see the people who are sending home, because the people who are working in the programs know that these guys lying.
They wonder who it is. They're looking around at each other and be like, well, who it is that they're sending home? You know? But again, that's just the propaganda of these guys. Woo. They don't stop.
Watch, all you go make some of them loctician and them move, because I see a woman say 120 Canadian to do she locks.
Oh my God.
Sonia, 120 Canadian.
Sonia, you need to come down to Grenada and
she need to come to Grenada. Brenda need to go to Canada.
Brenda will be up this summer. So
Brenda will be up 120 to do your locks.
She'll be up this summer.
So if you do 10 head in one day, 1,200.
Well, no, she won't be able to do 10 in one day. Well, it depends on the length and everything like that. But Sonia one is very long.
I have a cousin there, she doing 10 in the morning. I'm telling you, she that good.
Well, hey, let me go talk to her.
And then I'm a friends.
Talk on behalf of Brenda.
I'm a friends and them up in Grand Mall there. Yeah, man, them could handle that.
Some women, they good at that. They good at the locks. And
Alona, like you need to move to Canada, girl. 120 Canadian.
120, wow.
Veronica say 100.
Wow.
Wait, your locks touching the ground?
Yeah. Good morning to all of you on the live, wherever you calling from. Wherever you there. You are.
Let's say a special good morning to Jean. She says she's been listening to us over the years and we've kept her informed of what's going on in Grenada. And we're glad to do that. Yes. Hey, remember also, next month, the 8th of June, let me make sure, let me look up and see, is the 8th of June, boy? Yes. The 8th of June, the new Parliament building will be open.
Yes.
Yeah, the new Parliament building will be open on the 8th of June, God's willing. The new Parliament building will be open. Yeah, I ain't too sure if everybody could go because not the size of the trade center.
Nice, not.
The seating is just about 200 or 300 or somewhere there. I think they are seating for. That might have to be an invite only kind of thing.
Well, that will happen, you know. If that first sitting would be, they may have to in the yard put up big screen to accommodate.
If they do that, then they could take some people.
Yes, you know,
because the yard big,
yeah, tents and so on. Set up big screen.
Nice,
I can only see it from where I'm at on top of the hill. Oh, in the night is beautiful.
Yeah, man. To throw on them lights and you should be coming across the Lagoon Road there. Well, the Karani James Boulevard.
And see that glow.
And you look up and you see that. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, let's say a special good morning to Braylon Taplin.
Yes.
Yeah, Braylon ain't gone yet. Braylon here still.
Still here?
Yeah, Braylon here still.
The man, enjoy yourself,
the man,
bro.
God, watch
you
the man
home.
enjoying himself.
Yes, you home, man.
The man first time on a boat ever on the weekend, you know. That's the first time Braylon ever traveled on a boat.
Carriacou?
Yeah, up to Carriacou.
Oh, that's good.
And he make it, but he drop.
Yeah,
he make it. He make it. He maybe have a little Carriacou blood in him there too. He make it.
Oh, that's good. From Grenada to Carriacou, he's ensuring that he touch base with everyone.
Yeah, so Braylon, good morning to
yes,
you.
Man.
Most likely out training right now. So he's training here.
Yeah.
I know that
he has good facilities to train.
Yeah, the Karani James Athletic Stadium.
So, hey, he's losing nothing.
Yeah, and then outside of that, if you want to train on grass, if you want to train on sand, everything. You could go and run on Granans Beach. You could get some sand, run on the sand on Granans Beach. Come from there, you go in Montrouge, you could run on the grass. Come from there, you go in the stadium, you run on the artificial turf.
Good food to eat.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
That man getting some lasha breadfruit and yam and dashing.
The right time, you had the breadfruit and the yam and the greens, man. The lettuce and the cabbage. And so everything is local, bro. You know what, Braylon? You got to make Grenada your training ground, man. Talk to your boss, talk to your boys and them.
Yeah, man.
Tell them you need to be home.
Chris, where you trying?
Doing all your training and everything.
We'll come back to Braylon. Chris, where you trying? $80. You don't have a grain here on your head. 80 pounds to do yours.
A ball head, man. Oh God, the worthless screen. How they can take 80 pounds to do a ball head?
But you don't have a grain here on your head. So 80 pounds to fix what? The knitting that?
I can understand Sonia and so I had to pay 100, 120 and so because she has locks all the way.
80 pounds?
80 pounds to do a ball head?
They may be knitting. No, they may be making a knitting and put on top of your head like a hat.
That's extortion, bro.
They're gluing that on?
Oh my God.
They're gluing that. Chris, that'll be gluing that on, boy.
Specially made.
But, you know, it says a lot that we can have, even though he's a Grenadian, to have an athlete the quality of Braylon Taplin to come and decide that he's going to train here in Grenada, at home here in Grenada. He has the facilities. Before, our athletes would have been banished to the United States.
Yeah.
There would have been no possibility of them spending any time home here in Grenada because they would have had to be training, and especially during the sporting season, you would not have seen them here. They would have been
Hey,
in
God.
the States right through doing their training. But the fact that Braylon could come to Grenada, participate in the Grenada Invitationals, and then do his
still is
training
here, yeah.
right here in Grenada. And he has a meet coming up in Jamaica very soon, so he'll be leaving soon. I don't have the exact date, but you know how I talk, we'll find out, we'll let you know. And even if it's taking place while we on air, we bring in it. But we'll let you know so that Braylon will be participating in a meet, an athletics meet in Jamaica coming up very soon. And then after that, I think he might be doing a bit of the Diamond League, one or two of the races. You know, that's all over the world. That's Poland and Germany and, you know, all kind of place. The UK and so on. So he might be doing one or two in the Diamond League as well. Karani is still going through his little treatments and so on. So he should be back by the end of the year. He may skip this athletic season. I don't see more than likely that he'll be back this athletic season.
He need to do what he has to do to be fit and
but
ready.
It also gives an opportunity to the athletes like Taplin to rise to the occasion, and that's what's been happening. Because you also have Wade Van Niekerk, the world record holder and Olympic medal champion, gold medal champion right now, who is out of the 400, out of running totally for a while now, after he would have nearly destroyed his knee last October playing rugby.
Oh,
yeah, he was playing a game of rugby in South Africa.
Yeah, that's why.
And charity rugby, charity rugby, and nearly destroyed his right knee. He's been doing treatment and so on, and seems that as though he would be back in competition later this year, possibly. But it was he actually tore the ligaments at the sides and the top, tore them totally out. So he is on the sidelines right now in the 400 meter as well. That's why you haven't been hearing about Wade.
Hi, good morning, Sheldon.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Quite fine.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Quite fine. Go right ahead.
It's okay, right. I want to share a little concern. I don't know on your if you think, I'm not sure, if on your way tomorrow to work you can pay attention to the road right before the Ross Point Inn. You know, somebody took down a house there. The bill.
Ross Point Inn.
Ross Point Inn.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Hello?
Hello? Wow.
Hello? Oh boy, he's gone. I think his signal dropped.
Yeah.
Give me a call back.
Us a call back.
Yeah, I know where Ross Point Inn is there. All right, let's see if that's the same caller. Good morning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was talking about the road. Somebody took down a house, right?
Go ahead.
Build it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, for the past couple of days I've passed and seen like the road is sort of giving up. So I don't know if something could be done before the rainy season, because the Granite area is going to give up anyhow sometime along the line. But if some emphasis could be put in a sense that if the person who took down that piece of wall that was there or whatever, but it's going to give up, it's sort of leaning towards that person who cut that area there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
okay.
That's in Belmont.
So I'll take a look at it on my way down this afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right around when you take it down, you'll see the kind of knot that is making, like, you know, it's like it's I don't know if there's a hole or something in making there, but it's giving up.
Okay.
No,
All right, because
I'll look into that.
In a very short time, we're going to get rain, and it's going to create more problems.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, my brother.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, that's an important one, because
yes.
if
Right
that
around that
road is
corner
damaged there,
that's who.
yeah, believe me, I didn't notice it so far, but and I passed there less than an hour ago, so I'll check it out on my way back down. One of the things I think needs to be done though is that government needs to start enforcing those different laws and so that deal with if you damage the public road,
You pay.
yeah, it's time we start dealing with that. If you damage the public road, you have to I think people are getting away with a little too much. Deepo are coming to you. We coming to you.
Deepo.
We coming to you. But I believe that if people do things that damage public infrastructure, that those people ought to be made to pay for the repairs of the public infrastructure.
Exactly.
I fail to see how a driver driving recklessly can lick down a lamp pole. Let's say they lick down like one of those on the Maurice Bishop Highway. You see several of them knocked down and so. And that the system is not put in place so that the driver or the insurance company pays to put back the light pole.
It has to be done. Something has to be done.
Or that you are doing some construction on your home, or you're putting up a wall, and in putting up that wall, you destroy the public road, and then you create inconvenience to the users of that road, and you're not made to pay to fix it.
There must be consequences.
There have to be consequences. And I know it's under law, it's in law. But I think that it just needs to be activated so that the people who do these things, the cement trucks.
Yeah.
And this one is disgusting.
The cement and the trucks that carry this gravel and sand.
You're trying to come up the lane, and while you're trying to come up the lane, one of the cement trucks, and I mean, you don't have to wait for government to beat you with a big stick for that one. You don't have to wait for a police officer to wait there and ticket every cement truck they see passing. You don't have to wait until every time they see a truck pass with gravel or sand, they're waiting to go and give them a ticket. We all are Grenadians. We know better because a lot of us like to put the blame on government. Exactly. So like it's some massa to stand up over us with a big stick to say, don't do that. Come on. You're driving the truck and the cement is pouring out. It gets to the side of the road, and then people who are driving now, you basically have to nearly drive in the road. In the road, especially after high school, they are some peace boy. Man. You have to drive nearly in the road because you have cement at the side of the road.
Even going up Richmond Hill, right around the prison corner there.
Yeah.
You know,
that area has a lot.
Oh my God.
That area has a lot. You know? And then the gravel, because you're also endangering the people who drive the motorcycles and the mopeds and the scooters. You're also endangering them when there's gravel and so. I fail to understand how some of the trucks leave the loading facility with gravel pile higher than the tray, and people see that as okay.
And not covered.
I don't know how you could see that as okay.
It's not okay. Now, going up the Granny Tang, you driving up the Granny Tang in a full load bus, and there are some steep corners, and as you do so, and the busman going up, gravel is right there, right? And you feel it, the bus skidding. No, I mean, come on. You need to do better than that. And I'm appealing to the Royal Grenada Police Force, the traffic department. I travel the hills every day. Please do something about the trucks going over the Granny Tang with loads of gravel and sand, right? And spilling in the road. Something has to be done.
But you know the one good thing about that, construction taking place, but them cement truck and them gravel truck walking.
They walking. You understand? You see them
every... truckman and them smiling.
Sheldon, those are happy. Every 10 vehicles going over the Granny Tang. 2 of them is trucks.
Part of the reason I was late getting here was because I ended up behind 3 different trucks between Grand Dance and here. One carrying blocks and so on from the housing authority, the Sandino plant. I ended up behind one of that. I ended up behind a truck full of gravel. I ended up behind another truck again. So 3 trucks. 3. That tied up my tongue. 3 trucks. I ended up behind today. 3. Yeah? And so it says that construction is live and well. Deepo, I'm coming to you. It says, Deepo, you're only pushing thing. It says construction is live and well in Grenada right now. While some people say nothing ain't taking place, but every time you look outside, you see another cement truck. What do you think Grenadians always jam up with traffic for? If it's not a container going down, it's a container coming up. Is a truck with gravel going up or down? Is a truck with sand going up and down? Is a truck with dirt going up and down?
Exactly.
And then you look at some of the major construction you see taking place in areas like Woodlands. If you're going through Woodlands right now, you would realize that Woodlands has developed into a sort of second industrial park. And it is quickly developing into one of the bigger industrial parks on the island. Who ain't see it? Pass through Woodlands, you don't see what I'm talking about.
Especially around the sugar factory, going around that region to do.
Because you know, Nawasa had the facility there.
Yeah.
Then you have on-the-spot hardware. Then to the top of on-the-spot hardware, you have some other facilities there. I'm not too sure what services they're offering now, but there are several businesses located in that building. To the top of on-the-spot. Next to on-the-spot, you have markers. You have my good partner there with his parts place.
Ayub
Johnson.
Johnson.
Yeah, man. Ayub. Andy Johnson. Yeah. Another GBSS boy, right?
Oh yes. So I mean, you know,
I know that's
yourself,
why
I mean.
he just wanted to say that. I know you was coming with that.
And then
GBSS
lower down, just around by the factory there on the opposite side of the factory.
Yeah.
In that road that lead from on top come down, there's
Yeah.
a major construction going on there.
Yeah, and that road is being done.
Exactly.
Then there's a major construction
Lower
right
down.
next to the factory.
Yep.
Right next to the factory, there is a major. I think they said.
Ongoing.
I think from the information I picked up, I don't quote me on this one because I'm not absolutely sure. I'm just telling you what I heard. I heard it's a mini mall that's going to be placed there.
Wow.
So you'll have little things like a little grocery and other facilities available there.
Man.
A little mall in that area.
Yes.
And then after you pass there and you pass the sugar factory, heading to the south, remember you also have there that fish facility that's being placed on your right hand side, right in front of Sugar Bowl.
Right.
That
in front of
major
you.
facility that's being put up there. So the Woodlands area is fast becoming an industrial park.
Yep, second one.
Yeah, an industrial area.
Yep.
From on the spot, right down.
Right down.
Yeah, and just now you might see people try to take land further up as well.
Yep. And then where the traffic is concerned, man, on a morning time.
Yeah, it gets
you don't
sticky
wanna
there now.
get here.
It
And
gets
I
sticky
really
there now.
want to congratulate the Royal Grenada Police Force. I've seen their up their game in the town of St. George's, clamping those drivers who illegally park. And so, man, yesterday.
We will come back to them.
Good morning
Then
and
we go to
welcome.
Depot.
Yes. Good morning.
Mr. Sheldon.
Morning.
How are you, darling?
I'm quite fine, my love.
Right on my road, bad too, you know. It's bad.
Hmm?
Real bad.
Where is that?
I come here, St. David.
In Pomrose, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're gonna make sure and make a note of that one as well.
Eh?
I'm gonna make a note of that one as well. Usually I have someone from the Ministry of Works who, while they're working, they listen to what we're talking about and they make notes of the different areas. So I know that they're listening right now. In fact, I got a message from them a while ago. So I know that they're listening. So we're gonna work on that one in Pomrose, huh?
Yes.
Okay, my dear.
But you know who's talking, eh?
Yes.
Right.
Bonzi. All right, my love.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah, I know that the Minister for St. David, the Honorable Oliver Joseph, did have a list of the roads in most urgent need of repair in the St. David area. There's a list of the most urgent.
Especially in a part in St.
Yeah,
David.
I don't know which ones are on it and which ones are off it, but I know that he does have a list for immediate action of roads in the St. David area. Yeah, in fact, each minister has been putting that list together and bringing it in of the roads that need the most urgent attention within their constituencies. So that entire thing can be dealt with on a constituency by constituency basis, while you also prepare, because the road network is in need of a total overhaul. Right now, yes, you're doing the patching, but you're also trying to secure the funds now to redo whole stretches of road. Because we would all admit that the road between, we basically could say Point Saline and St. Patrick needs to be redone. It was done already. It was done already.
Especially on the western side.
And the thing is, we have different challenges here in Grenada. We have what you call moving soil. The soil does move.
A lot of it, man.
So it's not like you could put down something and it's going to last the same amount of time it might last in some other country where it's more on rock and that kind of thing. We have areas where the drainage is an issue. And so it causes damages to the road. What accelerated a lot of the damage to the roads, though, is the poor job that was done during the period 2008 to 2013. The poor job that was done by the then administration in relation to maintaining the roads. Yeah? So that caused the roads to be in a situation that now it's, in some instances, you have to just rebuild a stretch. Where you'd have been able to just repair, now you have to rebuild that stretch of road. Yeah. When you don't do things like drainage, the drainage affects the road. It washes the water out from under it, the soil out from under it, and it would cause areas to collapse and so on and look funny. So that neglect that the roads got between that period of time, you're seeing a lot of the consequences of that right now. But at least you have a government that knows how to deal with it.
Oh, yeah. two things. Yeah, well, I was
And
just
then we go to
talking-
the depot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Coming at your depot, the police officers and the clamping, the traffic department. I'm loving that because too many times you see drivers, right, owners of vehicles just park anywhere around St. George's and they don't care. They cause traffic hazard and everything like that. So kudos to you, officers. Continue to do a good job, right? Secondly, I would really like for the Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry, the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Forestry, and so to consider the continuation of the overhanging from Granitang, Black Forest, go up, right? They have started sometime last year, but it was stopped, and so I think it was because of the tourist season getting into, right? And so they had to halt. I'm really hopeful that they could continue it because one, it creates it's a better sight for people traveling, right? Less damage of the roads because when you have so many overhanging over the roads, the water continuously falls on the road, thus damaging it, right? And so what you have started a year ago, please, we are appealing that you continue, right? Try and continue once funds is available. So over that Granitang Road could be.
And the busmen were taking
Yeah,
part in it
oh
as
yeah,
well.
the busmen, they are just waiting for the government to say, okay, we are ready, right? They are up in arms, ready to do their part. And so from Black Forest all the way to Budge Grove, okay?
One thing I would suggest as well, though, is that those of us who have properties with fruit trees hanging over the public road,
do something about
there have instances. I nearly lost my windscreen to one. A mango dropped, and God bless me that it hit just between, that sliver metal between the door and the windscreen itself. It hit right there. The dent is on the car. So I was lucky, right, that the mango fell and it hit right at that spot. You have some areas where you have breadfruit. It has so much breadfruit that you have breadfruit falling down. You have coconuts. Well, tell me what are the coconut now because I need a few dry one. Show me, I go in for it. They had to wait for it to hit the ground. I go take it for them.
Take it from the air.
I go in for it.
But yeah, the owners are,
Please, the owners don't. Government shouldn't have to do it. In my view,
government should.
In my view, your property, your tree, your damage, your responsibility.
Yes.
That's in my view. I don't know what the law says in relation to it. Earlier this morning on Shaggy, I know someone called and asked the question.
About that.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. You know what we don't know? We don't know.
Yeah, we don't have the legal ramifications.
You see that overhanging with those mango, especially as we get more and more into the mango season right now. So mango, as we say, lap and cut.
Lap and cut.
Right.
Yeah.
Lap and cut it. Trim the trees hanging over the road, please.
Chris, I need no mango for you. Forget that. What we cutting staying on the ground.
Yeah. But no, they need to be trimmed. They need to be trimmed. Yeah. And landowners, as far as I'm concerned, it's your responsibility.
It is your responsibility.
Now, if the tree is entangled in the Grenlec lines, you can call Grenlec and Grenlec will trim it for you. Don't try to do it if it's entangled in the Grenlec lines or even flow. One of the utility companies, it's tangled in their lines. Call them, they will come and they will trim it for you. Because if you try to trim it, you are putting yourself in danger.
And others.
Yeah. The next thing you get fried. So don't trim it. Just call them. Let them know I'm so and so. I live at this location. There is a tree here. It's on my property, but there is a tree here. Don't worry, you ain't gonna see a bill come on your bill. You ain't gonna see they ain't gonna charge you for that. They will come and do it. There's a team from Grenlec that goes around and does that. Yeah. And it will save a lot of problems in the long run.
In the future. And I really want to make that appeal again, right? To the Ministry of Works and those in authority, please. Take note or try and do something as quick as possible to that piece of wall, that back wall located right close to La Fosse, right around La Fosse by how you call this business place right there? Oh, as you leave Budge Grove going up to Grenville. Oh, there you
Mellows.
go. Mellows.
He's the Grenville man.
Yes. that big piece of back wall there, please, I'm begging for some attention to be paid. I continuously watch that wall every day, and this wall split 2 places, come right down. Remember, the rainy season is coming, right? We do not want where our people to be injured. So anything that can be done, and so please, right?
And let's also remind persons, every year you have dengue passing around. Dengue comes through Grenada every year. It comes through the region every year.
Yeah.
And as such, dry season now, you're seeing the garbage in and between. Popo, go and take it out.
The mosquitoes?
Go and get it out. Clean the areas.
Yep.
It shouldn't be that we have a national cleanup day to wait to clean an area.
No, clean yours. I clean it. Mine.
Yeah. Sometimes, you just take up on your own and you start cleaning. And the moment you start the process of cleaning, some other people in the area just get up with you and they start cleaning as well.
Because we have
I've
that
seen
spirit
it
in
many
Grenada.
times. Yeah. That one person start and you see other people get up and they start with them.
No, that's just part of us.
Yeah.
You know.
And the other thing, with the rainy season coming, the rainy season, you remember we're in May right now. June, July, you understand what's going on, right? So we're nearly into the rainy season, but we're nearly into the hurricane season as well. You don't want when a system is aimed directly at Grenada, or models are showing that it may pass to Grenada, God's willing that we would not get it. But let's say something is aiming here. That's when you're looking to rush out to go and trim the overhanging. That's when you're looking to go and cut this and cut that. And then you go rushing trying to cut a line that close to a Grenlec line because everybody call them same time to come and trim lines around the area. Because if you leave the tree collapses, or you leave the branches and the branches break off and it busts down the line, it means in case of a natural disaster, it's going to take longer for you to get back electricity. So you're helping yourself. Yeah, so while other people may have to wait 2 and 3 months to get back their electricity, or even a year, you may be able to get back yours in a couple of days because your lines were not destroyed. Yeah? So call the Grenlec team and get them to come out and trim the overhanging in your area. The overhanging on their lines. Not just any overhanging. The ones on their lines. And those of you with the mango tree and the breadfruit tree and the coconut tree and all the other trees with the fruits falling in the road onto people's vehicle, please. Now everybody have coverage for that windscreen thing, eh? Please.
And them mango sweet and all. Let's pick them mango and trim the thing, man.
Yeah, trim it.
And also, so it's just, we have to do these things to help ourselves, right? To minimize the damage and so to oneself, the vehicles, and the danger that it creates and so to others. So let's help each other.
Miss Wankin, good morning. Yes. Yeah, and now on the depot. Depot, what kind of thing you're talking about? Don't give Brilla no under the counter, no kind of thing.
Under the counter self you need, eat him up.
Next thing, the boy gets some kind of thing in his system. Then we give him some creform.
Exactly, and clean his system and already revise,
Them young people know what you're talking about.
You understand?
Give him man some creform.
Some creform and some bois and thing in you understand?
But
in the bag there with a little Santopi and thing inside and
Jack
thing.
Again. You wasn't Jack Spaniard?
Yeah, Jack Spaniard, a lot of that.
Wait, I don't see that.
Hold on, I'll bring you a place one day to get Jack Spaniard.
I know, I want to go and see it. I'm good. We cool. Me and his brethren. Bless. Me and his brethren, man. Me and his brethren. I could.
You
me.
Growing
up, you know how much bite I get with this thing?
Man, this
as little children for spite, we used to go and pelt it. They used to build little Jack Spaniards on the underneath of your eaves, and so they used to go there and build. And as little children, we always used to go and stone this thing. Well, down in Trinidad, you always go down and stone it and so. Yeah. And you always getting bite up. As we say, Jep.
one day, I had a friend, fella called Puyo from Tempe. Jack Spaniard bite him right on the head of his penis.
Anyway, that's a story for off air. We might have children listening. Anyhow, right. But Jack Spaniard, give the man, bring Braylon. Give Braylon a little under the counter.
Under the counter, with a little creform, a little Santopi.
But strange enough, actually, you have to be very, very careful with what is given to eat. And the same as when Kirani's around, we have to be very careful what our athletes eat. Because it may sound weird to you, but they may be eating something that we eat every day, but that contains a substance that is banned
Exactly.
in sports, right? Sometimes the seasoning that you use may have something inside it that ain't supposed to be there. Sometimes it could be they're offered a drink and they drink something that has some component in it that they're not supposed to have in the system. Then they do their little blood test and so on when they have to do it, the urine sample,
And then they say
and
they use
bam.
drugs.
Yep. So we have to be very careful.
So the little under the counter go wash out all of that. So Depot, you know.
By now, we had to send whichever under the counter like the man, we had to send it to have it clinically tested.
Yes, we go filter it
to make sure that crefworm, boy, and all these things meet the International Athletics Association standard that they pass in the list. Other than that, we mess up the man.
We were calling the Dr. Guido Marcel.
Yeah.
He ensure, he give us the real thing.
Yeah.
And set up the man.
Don't kill the man. Don't kill the man no, under the counter.
But Braylon, you're in good hands, man. You home.
Yeah, he could eat the yam and the dashi.
Yeah, the yam and the dashi and everything, and the mangoes and everything like that. And the sapadilla.
Pops and Johnny will get some nice fish broth and all that kind of thing too.
Sapadillas and enough nice fruits around, right? The mangoes and the sapadillas, and so Depot leave all and go. And you understand?
Oh, he's gone now. Okay.
What do you know that Viagra is a forbidden drug? Wow.
For athletes.
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't doubt that. No, I wouldn't doubt that.
What's Viagra?
Because it's a performance enhancing, leave that alone. Okay. It's a performance enhancing thing, so I believe it definitely would be. Yeah, so they can't use that.
Yeah.
Folks, the new National Party, NNP New York chapter, they have their activity taking place this Saturday. They call it Strictly Waters.
Wow.
Strictly Waters. A delicious array of Grenadian waters. So you're getting lambi waters, goat head waters, cow heel waters, fish waters, plus kalaloo soup. So why can't be kalaloo waters? Anyway, so kalaloo soup. On Saturday, May the 5th, 2018, 12 noon until at 535 East 19th between Foster and Ditmas Avenue. All right, so the price of the tickets are only $20. For more information, you can call 347-538, sorry. So let's go over that number again. 347-538-6827, 917-361-8135, and 917-582-6406. You know, I say kalaloo soup there. I feel to eat some kalaloo soup, man. But some ital kalaloo soup. Some kalaloo soup with no pigtail or nothing in it. They just some ital kalaloo soup. No salt. With just some serious lasha dashin and green fig and yam and thing in it, boy. Feel to eat a serious ital kalaloo soup. All of a sudden.
3 persons that could cook kalaloo soup for me, My mom.
My mom died, right? So
right. Most likely the lady that I'm living with, and myself. Very skeptical about kalaloo soup and who prepares it. It's not a dish that you want anybody prepare for you to eat.
Yeah.
The special dish. You understand?
No, but believe me, kalaloo soup, yeah.
Lots of iron, but if you can't prepare
if you're heading the hills with the brethren,
Rasta brethren.
Believe me, boy. When you get a kalaloo soup in a bash day.
Ital soup,
yeah. Boy, ital soup in a, right now I feel to eat a ital
soup.
No salt.
Alright, then he stopped that. Kalaloo soup is one of the best.
No salt.
Yes.
Hey, Dennis, listen.
If you're ill,
if you're ill and so and you're eating some kalaloo, that building you back up in no time flat. Yeah. But yes, folks, the phone number 440-73. Phone call today, maybe we didn't think number 440-7377. That's 440-7377
and 347-329-3101. Get in on overseas line.
And when we listen to the Governor General's throne speech on Friday, there's a lot of information inside there on a lot of different issues. A lot of information came across on a lot of different issues inside there, including speaking about the housing, the issue of housing. And again, we do promise that we will definitely have, if not the minister, at least one of the technocrats from within the ministry to explain the system. One of the questions that I get nearly daily daily, and I'm not joking this, even on Sundays and public holidays, daily that I get is in relation to housing. More people tell me about their housing situation than people tell me about jobs.
And you'll get that coming up around now more because of the seasons coming up.
Yeah.
People are very, touchy about, being exposed, some of them,
So one of the things that the Governor General spoke about in it was the different projects that are taking place right now at Diamond and so on, and Dumfries in Carriacou, and so we know that those houses are coming up. Yeah, we know definitely those houses are coming up and so on. And also some individuals from time to time, they want to know about what is the present status with the material program. How can they qualify for the material program? Which program can they qualify for? So we definitely, and we won't just spring it on you like we just come today and say, well, today we're doing it. We will give you a little notice that on such and such a day, we'll be dealing with this particular issue. So we're going to let you all know what is taking place with that particular. We'll try for next week. I don't know if the minister will be in, if she can also bring one of the technocrats within there, so that you know what to do. Yeah,
because I know a lot of persons, they need their assistance. Some of them, they don't know where to go. And so some of them, they don't like going, particular places to fill up application. And so, so we need to sensitize them more and get them involved themselves, to think, because there's help out there for every Grenadian.
One of the problems that I realize a lot of persons face is that they apply for a program. So they apply for they may apply for the material program when it's not that program that they qualify for. And that's why we want to take the time to explain it properly to everyone.
Different
because
types,
then they want to vex with the MP, they want to vex with the housing authority, they want to vex with the Ministry of Housing,
the housing officer,
they want to vex with the security guard, they want to vex with everybody because they find somebody spiting them. But it's just that there are different criteria. For instance, if you earn a certain amount, like you earn a significant salary, you do not qualify for the programs that are geared towards people that have no income coming in, like the elderly or the unwed mothers who are not working and that kind of thing. You don't qualify for those programs. So there's specific information that we believe you need to get.
How
Good morning, my friend.
Okay. Sheldon, I hear a lot talk about Parliament, and Sheldon, I work close to Parliament up there, and many foreigners came and looked at the building. I know what did they remarks? Oh my God, that Parliament building look like the White House in America. Right? And
tell them, considering who in the White House right now, we really want that kind of. In our view, it's called the Nutmeg Palace.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we go call it. We go call it the Nutmeg Palace. We ain't taking a White House.
Beautiful, and the yard, the structure of the yard is very nice. We can walk close to up there, and every time they come, I bring away, they could get a very good view of it. They take out a picture, and they appreciate the structure of the building, and they give praise to the builder and the government for doing a wonderful job. Brother Sheldon, that building is very beautiful and especially when you see in Monjalo by the prison gap and you watch down, and you see the beauty of that building. It makes you proud as a Grenadian, right? And again, when you see in Laguna Road again, you look up, you see the beauty of the building. I say this building is on top of a hill, right? Everybody could see. They in town, certain part in town, they will see the beauty, which up by Richmond Hill Gap or Richmond Hill, by prison to go in prison gap. They look there, my God. You could stay and take a picture for the whole day. Let's take a picture of the building for the beauty of the building. I want to say congratulations to the builder and the government and whoever helped the government financially to construct that building. And Brother Sheldon, I want to say you all have a wonderful day. God bless you all.
All right, thank you very much. All right, 4407377 and
347-329-3101.
And as the caller mentioned Parliament, and we're speaking about the throne speech, the 4 areas of focus of this session of Parliament will be to continue the transformation of our society, and we'll get deeper into each of these areas after. Secure the welfare of our people, efficiently manage our economy to ensure the creation of jobs and a reduction in unemployment, promote economic growth and social progress. And when we're speaking about things like the transformation of our society, let's take the phone call first and we'll come back to that.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Hi, morning.
This is Sheldon.
You're live?
Off air, please.
You'll have to call after the program to speak to me off air. Call immediately after the program. Immediately after the program and we'll speak off air, no problem.
I need to talk to you privately.
Yeah, so call me right after the program.
On
the same number,
Same
yeah.
number.
Okay? Oh, they're gone. Yeah, just call me back. Call up. You'll be hearing us over the air. Just call me back 12 o'clock.
Yeah, 12.
Afterwards. Yeah, because we go finish spot on 12 today. We're
yeah.
finishing spot on 12 today.
Definitely.
Yeah, we have another call online.
Good morning and welcome. Hello. Good morning. Good morning and welcome.
That one we seem to have lost. Yeah, we lost that one. Yeah, 4407377. Okay, somebody is complaining about Jumbie Road, the road in Jumbie. That's down behind there.
Yeah, that's down in
Jumbie
Old
Road.
Tempe. Yeah,
Yeah, Devon want to go and get mango and thing easy this time. Yeah, it's still a mango down there. Okay.
Well, and I know a lot of buildings, dwelling houses, and so it's been built, so a number of the trees has been cut down. But
you still know where the best ones
oh,
is?
yes, definitely.
Right. Okay.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Hi, morning.
Hi.
Good morning, Sheldon and Devon.
Hey, good morning. Wow.
let me fix myself in the
Hold
chair.
on. We had to clear the throat and everything.
Yes.
I've been trying, I've tried for the last hour or so, but I know how busy the lines can be, and it's amazingly it's never busy. It rings out, but you guys just know me.
No.
I think. You have the thing where you see numbers.
Because just now we were saying, but how come the phone line not ringing?
Yeah.
So when I check, I realized it was engaged down here. That's why I wasn't seeing it ringing.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so that's
So
my
we
fault.
apologize.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I know I would get you guys at some point anyway, so I'm never worried.
So Keish,
Tell me.
last week we had the throne speech by Her Excellency.
Mm-hmm.
Well done as usual, and lots of information
Very well
on
delivered.
the 10th Parliament of Grenada.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. First question to you though. There has been a lot of concern by persons in relation to the issue of the statement regarding public assistance programs. Can you clarify that for the listening public, please? Exactly what
one
was
of the points she made, as you rightly said, the Governor General in the throne speech, would have mentioned that a number of these programs have experienced abuses or loopholes where people who do not merit the assistance have been able to access those assistance. The problem is, I think the confusion, is that these were referring to the problems on the programs under the Prime Minister's ministry, the capital program. So we're talking things like the Needy Assistance Program, that includes stuff like scholarship assistance to SGU, and so you're talking transportation assistance to needy families. You're talking assistance for groceries or bills or medical bills or medical assistance, vision assistance. So those programs fall under the Needy Assistance Program. We also know there's a special projects program that is administered, again, under the Prime Minister's ministry. So that too will be suspended or is being suspended for 1 month. And then the Uniform and Transportation Allowance programs, both of which have not started yet anyway. They haven't started to disburse. Generally speaking, those programs start somewhere in June, July, in time for the new school year. So those are the capital programs referred to under the Prime Minister's ministry. So it is not in any way, the suspension will not affect programs like SEED and so that are administered through social development and housing. So just to be very clear that those are the programs referred to. And the suspension period, as we're sitting here now, the suspension period is only for the month of May so that they can review the programs, close whatever loopholes that there might be. And like I said, complaints have come Complaints have come, even things like burial assistance, and so the Prime Minister could tell you. Complaints have come from people and from undertakers, and so that people who receive the assistance, some people, who receive the assistance do not merit it. And by merit it, we mean they are not needy enough, they do not fit the criteria for needy assistance, whatever the criteria are across the different programs. So they're being suspended for the month so that they can review them, ensure that they tighten up as many of the loopholes as possible in the administration of those programs, and then resume at the beginning of June.
Wonderful. So it does not affect the programs like the SEED program or the other programs under the Ministry of Social...
No, as we sit here, no.
Right.
The SEED program was referenced as one of the things that government will continue to do, because the SEED program is always being refined. As you rightly said earlier this morning, I think I heard you say, they continue to review all these programs anyway, but the ones specifically for the suspension this month are the ones under the Prime Minister's office.
All right. And it's just for a 1 month period so that everything could be reviewed.
Yes.
And it's not necessarily that you know for a fact something wrong is taking place, but you're just making sure that nothing wrong taking place.
Exactly, that you tighten the loopholes. And again, it might not be with every one of those programs called, but they're all administered under the same office. And so you have to ensure that you close whatever possibility of a loophole, because at the end of the day, human beings are the ones administering those programs. So it's not to say that the administrators themselves are deliberately doing anything wrong. It just might be that things have been missed, or people might come in with falsified documents, and they do their checks. But again, not every check is going to be foolproof.
Yes.
So there have been a couple instances where they have been found to, people have been abusing the program when they do not deserve the needy assistance.
Yes. Okay, so I hope that clarifies it for a lot of persons.
I certainly hope so too.
Also, what Cami may have been saying earlier may be correct in that she mentioned that someone spoke of people coming off of a project, and that may be a special project that has to be suspended just for the month.
Right, it might be.
In that case, and it's just for the 1 month. That may be a construction project under special projects, so they step off for the 1 month and they're back next month once everything is all well with that.
That might definitely be the case in that way.
But they were saying of somebody, the caregivers going home and all this sort of thing.
Saying the 1st of June, so let's see how that goes.
Because she was also mentioning they're talking about caregivers going home and all this sort of thing. But we know we hear that about Imani too.
Those were not mentioned. Like I said, those are the capital programs under the Prime Minister's ministry.
Yeah.
If those are the programs I mentioned, I would like to believe that the ministries directly responsible for the administration of those programs would put out a release saying that as of XYZ date, these programs are suspended. But in the absence of that, I don't know that any of these other programs are affected.
We've been through a very eventful week last week. What, for all intents and purposes, should be the final opening of Parliament at the Grenada Trade Center. I think 13 years now we've seen that happening. And now, also mentioned within the throne speech, the opening of the new Parliament building. What updates do you have for us?
Yes, well, that is been carded for June 8th. That's the Friday. I believe it's a Friday. Friday, June 8th, we are currently working out the details of what the program for that will look like. I know several of Prime Minister's colleagues regionally have expressed interest in being here, so if they're able to get here, or if the date works for them, more than likely we might see one or two of the Prime Minister's colleagues coming in for that very momentous occasion. We know the new Parliament building has been something way too long overdue since Hurricane Ivan. And through the generous assistance of the governments of Mexico and the United Arab Emirates, we were able to see the realization of the completion of that building, or the near completion of that building as we speak. So we look forward to June 8th having a nice fanfare. It will be the first time the doors are opened for the public, and you'll hear more about it in the coming weeks.
Okay.
And that of course, is happening right on the heels of the CDB, the Caribbean Development Bank Board of Governors meeting, which will be held here on May 30th and 31st, I believe.
Wow.
So we'll have a very eventful period as we close off this month into June here in Grenada. So we expect again, just like last year at the CARICOM heads, we expect to see all the ministers of finance of the CARICOM region being in Grenada for the CDB Board of Governors meeting, because Prime Minister is in the chair, so he's going to be the outgoing chair as of that date, and we look forward to welcoming all of them here to Grenada. Many of them are prime ministers, as we know, and then others are ministers with the portfolio of the responsibility for finance. So we'll be seeing them here. We do not know yet which ones exactly have confirmed their attendance. This has been coordinated at the CDB level, but there is a local planning committee that has been active for this since last year, the first half of last year when Prime Minister assumed the chairmanship. And so we've been actively planning and preparing for that conference, the 2-day conference here. They will also come with their delegations and their spouses, and so it will be a big event, very much in line with the CARICOM heads of government meeting that we saw last July, right here in Grenada.
And that's going to be wonderful. Also, so one suggestion though,
Tell me.
We're making sure that within the Nutmeg Palace, I giving it a name. I don't care what name they have for it. It ain't no White House. The Nutmeg Palace, we're making sure that our local Grenadian artists, that we get our little paintings and so inside, right? Little sculptures and so different locations.
I think that one is outside of my purview.
No, I want to know if to start painting again and doing my sculpture.
No, I have absolutely no clue. I think you remember there's a House of Parliament, there's a parliamentary office.
Yeah, I'm going to speak to them.
Things are coordinated. We have, maybe you should ask Mr. Francis that.
Girl, I go talk to them. I go talk to them. Because it would be, for me, it would be wonderful that within the building itself at different locations, that you're able to see artwork from different Grenadians. And I'm not speaking here of just any and any, but for instance, in Carriacou, you've had the late, what's his name again? Canute Caliste. So one of his better pieces that you have something.
Famous Grenadians,
ones
who made their mark.
Yeah, and there are many others that are up and coming as well. But that we can have some art pieces at different locations within the facility. I think it must reflect everything Grenadian.
I hear you, and I agree to a certain extent. Like I said, I
go talk
have
to them.
No clue what the plans are for the decoration of the building. And let's not forget Minister Bowen, the minister under whose direct responsibility is the construction of the building. He would have said a couple weeks ago in his post-cabinet briefing that on the date of opening, not every aspect of the building would be completed, especially as it relates to the decorations, the outside, and the beautification, because we're still yet to get all the financing necessary for that to happen.
Yes.
But the building will be functional as we speak. I think they're putting in the necessary aspects as it relates to technology, computerizing and everything. So these things would be ready. The building will be functional and ready to go, but there will be bits and pieces that they have to add on as we move along. So your suggestion might come in handy there. So maybe you should write a letter.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
Authorities.
Yeah, I ain't gonna just tell them. I'll go send it in.
Send it in writing.
Yes,
send it in writing.
Okay, so the Parliament building soon to be open and so on. Prime Minister is on island.
He
has not traveled. He finally getting a rest. Yeah, you're right.
Well, let's hope. I don't think he gets much of a rest, but he's in office as we speak. He has been one of his priorities when he's on island. Now that he's on island, has been to meet with the different ministries, starting with those under his areas of responsibility. So tomorrow, he would have met with finance and so already. Tomorrow, he continues with physical planning and inland revenue. And we're hoping that as of next week, he's able to branch off to the other ministries, starting with the new ones. The ones that there are new people in, for example, education and youth and sports, climate resilience, and so. So we're hoping to be able to do that, maybe 2 or 3 each week until he would have completed all of them across the board, just to have a meet and greet with the ministers and staff within those ministries, hear their questions, sort of just set the tone. This is something that he has done periodically in the last 5 years. He did it at the start. He did it several more times in the 5 years. So he wants to start the period the same way this time. So he's looking forward to that. As soon as he completes his ministries, he will then branch off to the others.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, and tomorrow he's meeting. He's scheduled to have a courtesy call tomorrow morning with your boy. I know how you are about the athletes, with Braylon Taplin. So
yes, indeed.
Braylon would get a chance. He didn't meet him yet because, as you would recall, Prime Minister was returning from London at the time of the Invitational. So Minister Bowen, as the acting Prime Minister, was able to meet Braylon and the other athletes at most of the events related to the Invitational. So Prime Minister will have his opportunity tomorrow morning to have a courtesy call with Braylon before he leaves here next week, I think.
Yes, because Braylon will be going to Jamaica and then I believe returning to Grenada. So it's wonderful that he'll get the opportunity finally to meet with Prime Minister.
With the Prime Minister and the Minister of Sport. Well, he would have met the Minister of Sports already, but those two would be there. So,
but as Braylon up and downtown, Braylon walking around town and all kind of thing, like if he been in Grenada all the time, I see this guy passing.
Updates and so.
When I look, I realize it's Braylon. I said, Braylon.
He's in everybody's picture. He did his career. Cool. He's not leaving any stone unturned.
Definitely.
So it's good to have him here, and I'm glad that he's enjoying himself and he's loving his mother country.
Yes. A St. David's man, eh?
St. David's
man. St. David's man.
St. David's man.
Yes, a St. David's man. Of course, what is on the agenda for Prime Minister for the next week? We've heard of what's coming up at the end of the month and early June, so we know that is busy time.
Right.
Always busy time.
I think the focus will be on trying to get through his meetings with the various ministries.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little overdue, but as we know, he had a very rigorous travel schedule for the first month or so after the elections.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just trying to put these things in place and do what he needs to do on ground. So he has no major trip scheduled for the next few weeks yet.
When they want to find out how to do what he do.
Those can be when things come up in Grenada's interest. So for now, he's here, and he will be doing his visits and all of that, and preparing, of course, for the CDB, because he would have several addresses to make during that period, those 2 days, and then, of course, the opening of the new Parliament building.
Mm-hmm. And we've also seen that the different areas, specifically for government's focus under this new Parliament, and we're not speaking about the building here, we're speaking about the institution, continue the transformation of our society, secure the welfare of our people, efficiently manage our economy to ensure the creation of jobs and the reduction in unemployment, promote economic growth and social progress.
Yes,
so
sir.
We're seeing 4 major areas there.
Yes, sir.
That look as it's, it reminds me of a plan like, they have this 2030 and 20 how much plan and that kind of thing. It reminds me of that.
The national plan.
Yes.
The national plan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would imagine, that all fits into the intention. The Governor General would have delivered that throne speech prior to the budget last year. And so this one was very much in keeping. Much of what was promised has already been delivered or started for the 2018 period. And so it's a continuation of the same in terms of the different areas of priority. We know healthcare continues to be high on the agenda. In Prime Minister's first meeting with the Trade Union Council, his first major meeting coming into office after his swearing in was with the Trade Union Council. And the overriding matter on the agenda for government as well as the unions was the state of healthcare. And in improving the state of healthcare, not just as it relates to national health insurance, which we know is a big ticket item that is well on its way to implementation before the end of this year, likely. But in terms of the overall services, the management of the sector, so we know Minister Nicholas Steele has been actively working toward fulfilling some of those, not just in terms of supplies for the different health facilities, but in terms of management of the staff, management of the personnel within there, because again, human beings that are working there, and yes, you have so many hardworking men and women, but we know things do go wrong. So health is very high on the agenda in terms of implementation of health insurance, but as well the improvement of the overall sector. The throne speech, would have also spoken to education and initiatives within there. We know there are several infrastructural works being done on different schools throughout the country. We've seen completions, we've seen handovers in the last couple of years. We know there are others well on its way. Just yesterday or 2 days ago, I saw Honorable Yolan Bain Horsford visiting my alma mater, which is the Holy Cross RC School in Munich.
It's on its way.
And this one is very dear to my heart, as you guys
know.
And it's well on its way.
Okay, you get your road, now you get in your school.
Yeah, I get it. Thank you, right?
and then you get your water after that.
You get road, you get water, you get school, and I'm sure there are other plans, right?
Yes.
So, you can only be happy when you see things like that. So all of those programs and so are well on their way, and we will see more of it. The Throne speech would have spoken to the development of sports and tourism and marrying the two, and we've already seen that with the realization of the second annual, what has become the second annual, the Grenada Invitational.
Yes.
I think it can only grow bigger and better. That publicity that we saw Grenada and Carriacou and Petit Martinique getting through the ESPN broadcast, and not only during the game, not only the game coverage, but the island coverage. Several videos were taken of different points of interest around the island, as far as the waterfalls, and I mean it's really a moment of pride for all of us to be sitting here and know that your family sitting somewhere in the United States was watching the same thing as we were at the time, and so it can only get better. Government will continue to support those programs, as you've heard, both the Prime Minister as well as the Minister of Sports say, and tourism as well. GTA would have done an excellent job of marketing Grenada during the broadcast of the games, and I know you guys on the committee, Sheldon and Dexter and all of you, would have gone above and beyond to ensure that we showcase the island as best as we can, and that we showcase our talent or athletes as best as we can. So there are many initiatives on stream. We know the roadworks continue, the rehabilitation of different roads, St. Patrick's, the Guave landfall project, and all of those are continuing as scheduled, and we hope to see much more development happening in the country in the coming years.
What can you tell us about the soon to come a project for around the Caranage area? And it was mentioned.
Right, Senator Steele, yes. Senator Steele, Minister of Climate Resilience, did mention that Grenada would have received the assistance to prepare the grants, to prepare the proposal, for the grants. So this is where we are. So this is to make St. George's, the town of St. George's, and they did mention, maybe by extension, Grenville, and so more climate resilience to the extent of being the most climate resilient city in the region. So right now, work will start soon on the preparation of the proposals. So monies were secured for that, for people to prepare the proposals. So they will source that, and then when you submit the proposals, they will be weighed accordingly, and the grants would be hopefully disbursed as necessary or as appropriately.
Okay.
So a lot of and again, that all goes within the broader agenda. In Prime Minister's last budget, he would have mentioned, come June, if fiscal space allows, different things would happen, such as the repaving of roads, especially in the south of the island. And we know those things like that are badly needed.
Yeah.
We see it daily. The road is now handling more vehicles than it was probably made to do. So things like that will have to happen at one point or another. And I imagine all of that will come within that grant or that whatever assistance Grenada gets for ensuring the resilience of St. George's. We know the Caranage needs some work. We see all the time when there's an extreme rainfall, we know what happens there with flooding, and so these are things that that ministry, Climate Resilience, is hoping they're hoping to source the necessary resources to ensure that St. George's becomes that very resilient city.
Okay. Any ministers out right now? I know Minister Emlyn Pear is in Guyana right now at the Ministers of Education Conference.
I'm thinking, I don't None that I know of. I know the foreign minister is on the ground. I know the health minister, because they both would have attended yesterday. There was a Brazilian vessel in town,
Okay.
a Brazilian military vessel. It was an official call, so both the foreign minister and the health minister would have been present last evening at that event. Um, three naval vessels. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So
Wonderful.
I can't think of anyone who might be out at this time, as far as I know.
All right. Absolutely wonderful. Kish, we know how it goes, so we know that you had to move in a little while. How are
Yes.
things going at the Prime Minister's
No,
ministry,
thank you for
though?
having me. I know last week I missed the opportunity to come on last week as we normally schedule it. So I will try to do it, keep up the schedule that we originally said we'd go with,
Yes.
which is the Monday schedule. But in the event that I cannot do it on Mondays, I will try my best to do it at some other appropriate time during that week, so that no 1 week goes by without an update.
But before you go though, any update on the Lance Bridge?
No, I do not have anything new at this time. That might be something I've been remiss on, so that reminds me to check. So no, I don't have an update for you.
Finally, before you go, we have been witnessing, especially around the eastern corridor, right? They in mass numbers. The sargassum seaweed.
The seaweed,
Once more. What can you?
It is an issue, and I know they're talking. It, tourism, and so, because it's affecting various industries.
Oh yes.
And the thing is, nobody knows what the health effects of those are, and that's part of the problem. I remember several years ago, at the onset of this phenomenon, Prime Minister would have issued a call at the CARICOM heads of government for his colleague leaders to impress upon the University of the West Indies. I remember that clearly because I was present, to do some research into the sargassum seaweed, find out what can be done that is more sustainable than what we're seeing now. Because now what it is that brigades and so are going out every day, several times a day, to clean up. But there has to be something more sustainable that can be done, or maybe something could actually be done with the seaweed itself and turn it into a positive. But I know it's unfortunate, and it's a problem across the region. Barbados has been bombarded by it. I think they might have it worse than the rest of us. So I know it's a conversation that has not died down. It's very concerning, and Prime Ministers at their leadership level are working to. I know the Ministry of Health is actually dealing with it. I know they have a plan to start working on it by this weekend. I would have heard this very recently from the Minister of Health. So cleanup will be starting. I think he said that just today he would have been visiting some of the beaches that have been most affected. So the Ministry of Health is taking it very seriously. The government is taking it very seriously. So hopefully we'll see something more sustainable soonest.
Yes, indeed. Keisha, we'd like to thank you so very much for the time that you have taken this morning to be on with us. And we know that, the one question we didn't ask you about.
Tell me.
May Day, An Indian arrival day. You ain't tell us what took place on those 2 days?
No, I didn't go out.
You didn't go?
Prime
Oh, gosh.
Minister didn't attend the May Day, but he did attend the Indian arrivals activities. Honorable Peter David would have gotten his debut as the Minister of Labor.
Yes, indeed.
He get baptized.
I don't know if we can quantify the booze, but he enjoyed it.
Of course.
He thoroughly enjoyed it, according to him. The feedback received across the board. I saw a number of the placards, and so he enjoyed it. I heard the speech went over well. He would have spoken to governments, what government has delivered already for the workers. That's one of the things that was heavily campaigned on, as we know, things that this is a working class government, and government would have always been on the side of the workers for things that they had been promised over the years and had never materialized. So the delivery train has been in motion for a while, for the last 5 years, and so I'd like to believe that overall, I tend to look at the number of boos you get I think the number of booths you get are directly related to your level of delivery.
Yeah.
So in this case,
You didn't get plenty.
he might have had a decent year this year.
but Keisha, I have to ask the question because I've been looking at some of the statements on social media and so on, and even on one or two call shows, and it seems as though some people wanted more than booze. They wanted a lot of boo. They wanted some anti-government placards and all this sort of things. But
And I
I didn't
imagine
get
those
that.
same people are the ones that are opposed to results. To
Yeah.
Of course,
solutions.
of course.
yes, they are.
Government has been solving these issues one at a time. And I think no one does a better job of it than Senator Chester Humphrey. I think we saw him throughout the campaign breaking it down, issues that have been decades in the making.
Yep,
And
yep.
government has gone through one at a time and solved these issues. Things like removal of tax on severance pay. And so we saw the increases for the future, not just increases for the period you're in. Regularization of workers. Hundreds of workers have
Pension.
been regularized in the last 5 years.
Pensions.
Pension reform is on the agenda, and not just on the agenda, it's well on its way to a resolution. We know there's a memorandum of understanding signed. We're talking national health insurance again, well on its way to implementation. So these were not just promises. These are things that the workers would have seen in the last 5 years, despite the country being under structural adjustment program for 3 of those years. So the delivery is very much a reality, and I think that is why we have been able to see the workers being so receptive of the minister or whichever other government officials might have been around on May Day. And we can only hope that this trend continues. We know that government would not ever be able to solve all the issues that workers might have, but government has made it clear that it is listening. They're hearing the workers, and they are working to solve solve the problems, priority areas one by one.
And the thing is that I think the workers had a lot to be proud of because they have been some of the most successful trade unions in the region in what they have been able to achieve in their negotiating with the government of Grenada. Over 100 million in the space of no time. I mean, they have been able to achieve quite a lot in a short space of time.
And no one
they
can
need
say
to
they
be
have been
congratulated.
soft on the government either.
No, they have not.
So even, accusations the trade unionists who were selling out to the government, they have never been soft. They've been able to get their demands.
Yeah.
And they've done so in a relatively peaceful and stable environment in the last 5 years. They didn't have to force government hands too much. Government was committed to doing many of the things that ultimately materialized. Prime Minister had given his commitment to working along with the trade unions and all the other social partners to solve these issues. And we have seen a lot of progress in that regard.
Indeed. Again, Keisha, we'd like to thank you. This time we go let you go.
Yeah,
We'd like to thank you. We'd like to thank you. You ain't getting away easy. When you reach your car,
thank you for having me as usual, and I look forward to the next time.
I wonder. I think I might go to La Plywood later and have a little drink or something. And I might go down there. I think I might.
Nice plug.
You might see me. You might see me somewhere down there by La Plywood.
Anytime.
You done by Fantasia there?
You're going down. I'd join you. I heard you had a birthday. Happy belated.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I totally missed that, and then Facebook, I saw you send out thank yous. And I said, "Oh, really? When did that happen?"
Same day with Honorable Gregory Boyne.
That's the point. So happy belated. I hope you had a lovely one. And come down and let's have that drink.
All right, my dear.
Okay.
Thank you
Take
very
care.
much.
Have a good day. Bye, Devon.
All right, bye,
All
Kish.
right, bye.
Take care.
Yeah, boy. La Plywood, that's right. As you're going down to Fantasia. Yeah, next to Fantasia, right on your right hand side there.
Oh, yes, right. Yeah,
You're going down the hill. Right on your right hand side there. If you want to sit down, you could go and sit down on the sand and thing and relax and thing. You could go and take a nice little drink there. You could take it on top there. Yeah, you understand?
I noticed that last week. Myself and Brenda went down on a Wednesday.
Yeah, so if I know by Garfield's bar, I could go across by La Plywood. You understand? Yes, I could go by Garfield. I could go by La Plywood. You understand? Nice place with nice people. Take what I tell you.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and there's some nice Mexican food you just get here and things.
Mexican? Wow. It's a long time I haven't eaten Mexican food, man.
Get some Mexican food and take that too.
Good morning and welcome. Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Good morning.
You're live caller.
Hello, morning.
Morning.
How you all guys doing?
Hey, not too bad, man.
Devon.
Yes, boss.
It's a long time we didn't talk.
Yeah, it's a long time.
And up to now, I haven't seen you yet, you know.
Well,
I call for 2 reasons. One, that I just hatched a lot of plants, and they germinate very fine. So I have a lot of this time around again.
okay, good.
So I want to make sure this time around you get.
Right, so good. So I'll definitely keep in touch with you in the next couple of
Eh?
days. All right, thank you very much.
I'm hardly hearing you.
I say thanks very much. I'll get in touch with you.
Yeah, we have to keep in touch. I listen to the program every day, you know.
Oh,
That's what I
okay.
usually call. But Sheldon,
Yes, sir.
I want you to explain something to me and to whoever is listening. MAREP has been, well, let's say put to rest. They finished the program, ain't it?
Yeah.
And now the Basic Need Trust Fund is in that place. Is it?
No, MAREP is actually folded, but they're supposed to have started a new thing nearly immediately. So it's not the Basic Needs Trust Fund takeover. MAREP would just have a different name right now, and they start up a new project.
Is the Basic Need Trust Fund the one responsible for, like I heard you said something about trying to get people to upgrade the toilet processing, where they you get rid of the pit latrine and...
There are various programs for that, and the Basic Needs Trust Fund in the next cycle that they have coming up. No, I think it's BNTF 6 or so.
Yeah.
The next cycle they have coming up, one of the projects is a water and sanitation project, where they will be assisting persons with that. Yes, they will be assisting persons in specific communities, because the Basic Needs Trust Fund and MAREP and so on, they work in specific communities throughout the island.
And how people go about accessing that assistance?
And the moment that they're ready to roll that out, they will make it public. We definitely will be saying it here.
You'll keep the people updated.
Yeah,
Definitely we will.
Definitely, because one thing, they have to put out the project proposals. So the funding is available. They have to do the project proposals and so that they could have secured the funding. And then after that, but they've also already secured the funding for this project, right? I think, trying to remember if it's BNTF 5 or 6. I'm trying to remember which one it is, but that funding has been secured. So now they have to roll it out in communities, and they will let people know. In fact, before BNTF does any work in a community, they would come into the community and hold meetings with the people of the community.
Yeah, I understand that kind of thing.
Yeah, so they don't just...
So they could identify how much people that would need such assistance in the area.
You see, when you're spending money in these situations, you must do community mapping. So you must make sure what are the needs of the community, what are the present strengths and weaknesses of the community. For other words, is there a community center? Isn't there a community center? Do they have access to water in a normal sense? Like they have proper pipelines running from the Wasa in that area, etc., etc., etc. So BNTF will be coming to different communities and holding meetings before they roll out the program in those communities.
You know, it's interesting that this program does a lot to dispel a lot of the propagandas and rumors that you find going about the place. That to me is so unnecessary as a strategy by the NDC. And I'm not saying that because I'm a party person. It's just that I think the NDC, the way they're going about doing things, is just irritating. And I'm so disappointed in the way that these people exercise or do the whole processing. I think they're missing all their points. And you all do a good job, I think, very, very good job in dispelling some of the apprehensions and rumors and whatever you might call it relative to that.
Yeah.
Right, thank you.
Mr. All right. Devon,
yes, boss.
Keep in touch.
Yeah, we will.
Every day, man.
I heard you and your partner the other morning, boy. You didn't take it lightly. That's for another day to talk about. Don't worry.
When I tell him his arrogance is what's keeping him back from being a senator.
Have a good day, my brother.
Well, he shouldn't cut me off if I call back here. I think
only maybe feel last senator thing is a dog show.
All right, one love.
Take care, sir.
Only feel last senator thing is a dog show. Anyhow. Yes, folks, that's about all the time. Devon, we have 3 minutes.
Yeah, we have
3 minutes. Behave yourself. We have 3 minutes. But in that 3 minutes, we'd like to thank all of you who have listened to the program today. All of you who've continued to contribute to the program in whichever way possible. To you, Keisha, who continue to be on our side, calling on a weekly basis, making sure that we get direct information. You see how easy she cleared up that entire issue of the public assistance and the social safety net programs and so, because there are programs that are run through the Prime Minister's ministry that assist persons. For instance, I see a lot of people talking about, okay, they can't access like an ultrasound or that sort of thing. And if it's found that you're really in a financial situation, you're not working, nobody working in the household, so a person has to be an ultrasound done. There are programs through the Prime Minister Ministry that provide that service for them, that make sure that they can go and get it done and that kind of thing. Or whether it's a pair of glasses for a child who really needs a pair of glasses also, and the parents can't afford and that kind of thing. That is so
important, eh? When persons can, go to somewhere where they can definitely get some assistance. May not all.
But then some people now might find that, look, I need one, so they just go for it too. And so you have to review to make sure it's really the needy cases, the people who really need to be assisted, that are assisted. And also you have the special projects, those projects like a road that might be done in an area. It's not necessarily that it's a long road to say how much miles long, but maybe just a few feet of road in an area that need to be done. That's going to ease the problems that some people are having. So that is done under those projects and so as well. So it's important for a review to take place every now and again.
Of course.
And as I said, review take place with all the programs, whether it's NIS done.
It's important.
Nobody ain't going to call nobody thief this time.
You understand? Accountability, and the Minister of Finance is ensuring, right, that every cent that this government spends is accounted for. The people of this country will know of it. Indeed.
Folks, remember, it's taking place this Saturday. That's in New York, the Strictly Waters. That's taking place from 12 noon until, go and bring your people. 535 East 19th between Foster and Ditmas Avenue. All proceeds go towards Grenada's children. Price of the tickets, $20. Check the members of the New National Party New York chapter on that one.
Wait, you have to buy 5 tickets, eh?
Yeah, and then tomorrow, by the time we're talking on air, the pot's supposed to be getting close to finish.
He's supposed to be ready?
Well, Food Fest 8. That's taking place at the Pearls Airstrip tomorrow. So, folks, get your eat on. They're going to have oil down, and Tanya Log is going to be available from
11:30.
Well, I seen you from 11. 11:30.
From 11?
That's what do you say? You say 11:30. So 11:30.
We go take his word for it.
From 11:30 until 4, you get your oil down, you get your Tanya Log. If you want to call in the area, you could make a little appointment. You get thing right.
And place your order.
And then from 4, you're going to have Cowhead Waters, all kind of different food. You name it, they have it. Once it's in season, they have it. Don't look for money.
And entertainment. Dash.
Yeah. You have Dash, you have Talprey, all kind of things.
Understand? Walk past and through. Come and enjoy it.
I know we both me and the one we had to run.
Folks, gotta go.
We all know how to hang around a little bit, how to take a call.
Oh yes,
yes. So but you go to go. All right, so folks, that's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. Whatever you say, whatever you do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to and with you,
and not about you.
We love each and every one of you all unconditionally. So enjoy the rest of your day today.
Love you.
Try to warn them, but they never take heed.